we all got stuff. Just because I'm a guy who coaches people for a living and helps them with their disciplines and helps them get their life moving in the directions that they want to grow, doesn't mean that I don't have things that I'm working on too. Everybody's working on stuff. Everybody's doing, their thing to ratchet up, like I have done a lot of healing. I am, fortunate that I got on my path when I did for myself, and I am now able to help other people in that way, and that feels really great to be able to be at a point where I can be of service. But that doesn't mean that I don't have things that I'm working on too. Once it's a spiral, and it just keeps going and going, and there's always going to be something to work on. If there wasn't, then you probably wouldn't wake up. You just move on to the next phase. Here we are working on things. We're working it out. I don't know what this is over here, but it's working it out. We are just on the journey, and we're all at different spots, and we're all here to help each other. Even as with clients, like clients help me see all sorts of things about myself. It's just part of the cyclical nature of it all. And the best thing to do is to, be okay with wherever you're at. Be gentle with yourself and allow yourself to just, feel into what you would like to change, what you would like to work on, to become the version of you that you truly aspire to be. You know that there is one. Everybody has one. Or several, there's lots of different things. We're just moving through. We don't sit still for very long. And if we do, we're probably depressed, or, we don't know what to do. And we're, living in a state of fear or denial, which is, working against the progression of ascension, wanting to explore both the outer world and the inner world. It's part of the reason that we're here is to keep growing and to keep learning and to keep figuring out what what our purpose is, what our existence is, your personal existence, not aside from the greater existence, like you're you, like Tao doesn't make mistakes. Like you're you for a reason, and you're you to keep working on yourself. Like that's why we're here. Like we're here to do the work, to do the due diligence. We all have stuff. As I said, I was thinking this week about how I tended to always, get involved with women that were kind of dismissive, and avoidant, and that's a big thing for me to share right here. And the reason that I did that I can, kind of pinpoint still to this day is that, like, when I was young, I had a broken family situation, and it caused me to ignore the fact that I wasn't getting the care and the love that I needed. And, so I, was seeking validation in other ways, from an external source instead of myself. And even though it's something that I've worked on, that particular point for years and years and years, really, loving myself and accepting myself for who I am, faults and all, and, continuing to peel them back and work on them and, just forgive myself over and over, still I would realize that time and again, when I thought I was healed, I was still, eventually recurring this same kind of relationship pattern in one way or another. It would keep coming up in different ways, but I eventually could see that, oh, this is really just the same problem, but from a different angle, a different perspective. And that's good, because that means that you are whittling away at it. You might be like sick of it. Like, I was sick of it. Like, just like, isn't there a woman that will love me for me? It would be, my, sort of, I guess, my larger question. Am I not worthy? Why are all of these people who don't look like they have their shit together, why are they worthy of love? I don't know the answer to that, and they could be, or they could not be, and they could all be in like avoidant relationships, not working on their shit, or maybe that's not part of their journey, and they have that figured out, and they're working on something else. Like, there's no gauge that we can have on anybody else's journey or judgment that we should have. And to every one of those women, I'm just using that scenario as an example, because it could be any relationship in your life. Like, those people are helping. They're helping me. They helped me to see where I was lacking, how I needed to, stand up for myself, how I needed to love myself. And, even though, because I was over giving, it was a big thing that I would do. I would over give, because, I wanted that validation, because, I was externalizing it instead of finding it within myself, and it is a process, and to every single one of them, even no matter how it ended, because romantic relationships are a great example, because people tend to hold on to negative experiences, endings, things like that. Yeah, shit could go ugly, but are you examining yourself too? Are you really examining yourself and giving yourself and the other person the benefit of the doubt? Like, how have I contributed to that? Even if I felt like the universe put me there, because the universe did put me there. It put me there to help me learn, to help me grow, and to help you're helping that other person too in ways that you may not have any idea about, cosmically and karmically. So remember to be gentle with yourself. It is it's a spiral journey. Do your best to be kind to others on your journey if you can. Like, you need a talking head on the internet telling you that, but the more love we put out there and forgiveness that we can have in our hearts for, those who we perceive have harmed us, the better our life is going to be. Like everyone's on their own path. If you would like some help with your path, I'm available. I do work a lot with people, especially men who have been through divorce and breakups and, are looking to, get their life in a clearer path, in the process of growth, as they're moving forward. And, but not exclusively men, but I do work with men, specifically, because I know that we can have a little trouble opening up and, being vulnerable and like, bro, I got you, So if that is something that interests you and you'd like to talk further, you can email me. My email address is always below every video. You can reach out to me on the YubTub here, and we can see if we're a good fit, to work together. Not only with relationships, but all kinds of goal setting and standard setting, and moving into different areas of your life that you would like to work on. My name is Mike, if you don't know that, and I am a holistic living coach. I help people not only with relationships, but also, their aspirations, their disciplines, lifestyle and nutrition as well. The entire holistic spectrum, because one thing leads to another. How may I be of service, friend? And we're going to help each other both ways. So I hope this video finds you well, and you could find something, a nugget of something in it that may be helpful to you. And I thank you, for being here. Both, not only just the video, but in the larger scheme of everything, You are all that is, experiencing all that is, and we are all one. And, thanks. Cheers. Shred.